For the last 5 years, I've been living my dream. Getting paid to do what I love.
Actually crazy.
Traveling and creating for some of the world's biggest brands, all because I decided to pick up a camera and share my work on the internet. But even with that success, I feel lost. So today, I want to share a bit about my journey as a creative, what I've learned from turning my passion into a career, and one thing I've constantly struggled with that's made me question if it's all really worth it. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt and I'm a full-time filmmaker and photographer. I started a series on this channel last year, at the beginning of the year. I was posting pretty consistently, but I've kind of fell off, and I've been trying to find my footing and my direction with YouTube again, and to get re-inspired and re-motivated to show up on here. And yeah, I want to bring back these talking head videos. I know that a lot of people really resonated with them when I was doing them, and for whatever reason I just kind of stopped. But it's nice to just connect with you on a human level. So that's the reason I'm bringing these back, and I think there's value in just documenting my journey, the ups, the downs, the things that I'm learning, and a lot of things that I'm thinking about as a creative, trying to build a meaningful life. So that's kind of the goal with this, and if you vibe with that, then I hope you get some value out of this video. Right now I'm coming at you from Joshua Tree, which is absolutely beautiful. If you don't know where that is, it's a national park out here in the United States, which is not where I live. I live in Canada, but right now we're on a bit of a road trip. We started in Chicago, me and my girlfriend, and we're heading all the way out to LA. And while I'm out here, I am actually working on my next short film, which is going to be an origin story of sorts. And I'm excited to put a video like that together because I've wanted to create an origin story for so long, just kind of my roots as a creative. That will be more of a cinematic feel, and I'm excited to put that together. I also just posted a new short film on my channel from my time in Central America. And if you would like to check that video out, I would love for you to check that out. It's a story about presence and purpose, and yeah, just my time in Central America. I think it's a fun watch, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, that's a little bit of a life update. Today, as you saw from the intro, I want to speak about kind of where I'm at in my creative journey. Because truthfully, this season that I'm in right now, I feel pretty lost. And I've had a lot of different conversations with other creatives in this field, people that are aspiring to be full-time creatives, or are already kind of doing their thing and feel burnt out or directionless. So if that is you and you're watching this, you're not alone. I feel it. I know a lot of others in my circle feel it. So to give you some context, I run my own creative agency. And I do that with my girlfriend. We do a lot of work with outdoor lifestyle companies, like one of the companies that we're shooting for on this trip, and a lot of travel brands and stuff like that. And when I first picked up a camera, which was back in 2016, I honestly had no idea where it would lead me. I had no intention of turning my photography passion into a career in any way. I literally just started photographing my travels, and the first time I ever used the camera was on a trip to Italy with a couple buddies from university, and it was just a means for me to just capture the world and express myself creatively. It was so foreign to me back then that the thought of ever turning it into a business never crossed my mind, and it stayed that way for years. And I just kind of leaned in and tried to hone my skills and develop my skills as a photographer. And I started with landscape photography and moved into portraits, and then eventually moved into shooting products, and that has culminated into this career that I have now. But what I'm trying to say is that when I first started, I did it purely for the craft, purely for the art. And I've always just been an artist at heart. When I was a kid, I was drawing dinosaurs. I was I was just drawing every second I could. I was painting. When I was in high school, I was painting landscapes of all the places that I wanted to see in the world, but it was just purely out of joy and fulfillment. And that's how photography started for me too. But as I continued to develop my skills and at the same time working a job that I hated, I thought maybe there's a chance for me to make this a career. So I started ultimately learning business, and I ended up just building kind of like my own commercial business. And what's cool is that like those first thoughts of, can I monetize this? The life that I'm living right now, that was the dream. Like at that moment in time, I thought to myself, like if I could get here, that would be the dream, you know? Like life could not be better than that. And it's really cool to say that like here I am, you know? I'm living the dream that a past version of me had. But at the same time, now that I've gotten to this point, I've realized that like the dream of making money from my creative skills, I don't think was ever the dream. What I'm realizing instead in this season of my life is that to simply have the freedom to create the things that I want to create feels more like the dream. I'm going to unpack that a bit, because I'm not saying that like I haven't enjoyed all of the beautiful moments that building this business and like going down this career path has led me. It's opened up like so many opportunities to travel, to connect with other people. I've met my girlfriend through like jobs that we worked on at the beginning, and it's like crazy to think how much this path has like opened up for me. I think one of the things that I've like really had a hard time balancing over the past few years of running a business, a creative business in particular, is just balancing like what needs to be created and what I can create for myself. And a lot of the times the things that I create for myself are put on the back burner, you know, like I just like, there's no time for it is what I would tell myself, or it's not important. Like you have to focus on what's making you money. And yes, of course that's important because I have to put food on the table. But at the same time, I think I've lost a part of myself in this, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. And ultimately that's what I want to try and document as I go through this series. You know, I just want to keep it real and just like talk about these struggles that I've had in trying to build a meaningful creative life. You know, these are the things that I want to talk about. But yeah, finding that balance between creating for obligation and creating for fulfillment has been pretty hard, honestly. And right now I have had just like a lot of thoughts of, is this worth it? You know, is this career path that I'm currently on, is it sustainable? Does it make me happy? And is it where I want to go with my future? You know, so I've had a lot of different thoughts of like, should I go back and get a 9-to-5 or get something that is a bit more stable and able to like free up some time for me to work on passion projects. And one thing I've loved about YouTube is just the fact that like it's actually the platform that has reignited my creative spark in a lot of ways. Like I think having to show up on Instagram and create multiple different formats and post many times a day and a week has really burnt me out over the long term. And getting into YouTube has actually like changed things for me a little bit. I love creating for the horizontal format. I love creating films, I've learned. I've really poured into the video side of things over the past couple of years, and I've just like really enjoyed that process. And I've learned over the last year and a half just that YouTube is a direction that I really want to pour into. I really want to go in on YouTube. And in a way, it feels like I'm like in between dreams, you know, like I'm living the dream right now that a past version of me had set. But now current Matt wants to focus on YouTube, you know, like I want to go all in on YouTube. I would love to become like a full-time YouTuber, document my journey like this, create short films that are meaningful and authentic and empower others, and just like really tell my story and are artistic. And like that feels like the perfect balance between creating like from the heart, but also creating something meaningful and something that can potentially turn into a full-time income source. There's a lot of people that make a full-time living on YouTube, but here's the thing that I'm thinking about as well, because I don't want to go into this venture expecting anything. I recently had a conversation with one of my mentors, and he is in a very similar place in his life where he is focusing on a passion project on the side, and he has his creative business that kind of like pays the bills. So I was asking him, I was like, what are your goals with the side project? Because I know he has certain kind of like ideas of where it could go and where he could potentially make money from it. But his answer that he gave was really, really good, and it's stuck with me ever since. He said, I am meeting the universe halfway. And what he meant by that was he is essentially just putting in the work, doing the thing that he loves to do, and removing himself from expectations. So the universe is offering the opportunity for him to pursue this thing, and he is meeting the universe there, just creating what he wants to create and just letting it kind of like take shape as it will. I think that's a beautiful way to look at it, and a beautiful way to word it too, because that's essentially where I'm at right now. I have this career where I am kind of like, it's paying my bills. It's obviously opened up some amazing opportunities to do trips like this, and I do enjoy it for the most part. But there is that part of me that really wants to just focus on my own personal passion projects and pour into the YouTube side of things, and but I don't want to like go into it with the expectation of like this is going to be the thing that replaces the income, because then that takes the heart out of it, and then I'm right back into this cycle of like needing to create for obligation, and that's not what I want. So yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it, but in a way I'm at this point right now where I'm just kind of trying to meet the universe halfway, and just really just create what I want to create. Because when I really look back on my journey as a creative, like all the opportunities that I have now, they started that way. Like I said at the very beginning, like I picked up a camera because I just enjoyed taking photos. And just through that joy, my skills developed and opportunities opened up. And then I met people, and I started traveling the world, and everything just started from the passion, versus from the expectation of like, oh, this will lead me somewhere. So that's kind of like what I want to step back into right now. And I want to just like keep reminding myself of the feeling of just creating, and just doing it for just purely out of joy and fulfillment. And I just want to lead with the heart. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in life, and in my creative journey. And that's also part of like what this series is. I just want it to feel like I'm speaking, like you're listening to a friend, I don't want to be overly prescriptive with things that I say and tell you need to do this or you have to do this. I just want to be another person on the internet that shares their kind of journey. So if you're into that, then I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. And my goal is to do this on a bi-weekly basis. When I started this series last year, I called it a little bit something different, but my goal was a video a week, and that also burned me out. I want to keep it free flowing and just share the things that I'm struggling with, the things that I'm kind of like learning, and a lot of the creative thoughts that I'm having. So yeah, like I said, if you're into that, then I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. And I promise to make this valuable, and I promise to keep it fun, keep it light, keep it real. So yeah, that's kind of my journey. But before I leave you, I also want to just give you a question to ponder. This is something that I have done in a lot of my older videos, and I think I think it's just like a fun way to pass the thinking back to you onto your creative journey, and just think about like your path. And I'll quit rambling there, but let me give you something to ponder. I have a question written down here for you. Let me pull it up. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to think back to the first time you ever made something, before you had the audience, before there was any algorithm involved, before anyone was watching. And I want you to think, what did that feel like? And most importantly, when was the last time creating felt that way? This is a question I've honestly asked myself a lot over the past couple years as I am in this like transition phase. Like, this is where I'm at. This is where I was. This is how things felt then. This is how things feel now. Where's the disconnect? And that's why I feel like I'm making a lot of changes, and I'm pondering a lot of different things, because I want to get back to that place where creating felt like it did at the beginning. So yeah, I want you to think about that for yourself. Think about your own journey. Think about like, when was the last time you felt that way? Was it recently? Has it been a couple years? Like, what are some things that maybe you have to change in order to get back to that? Are there some ideas that you want to pursue that you've been putting on the back burner that maybe it's time to prioritize? Or yeah, just give it a thought, and I would love to know kind of like where your head's at with all of this. If you feel like you're in a similar boat, or if you have any questions about my journey, or anything that you want to share about yours, and we can chat about it. Feel free to drop a comment down below, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I love connecting with you guys, and yeah, that's kind of it. I think I'll leave it there. I'll quit rambling, but yeah, I'm super grateful that you're here. If you stuck around to the end, you are a beauty. That's my Canadian slang coming out there, but yeah, you're a beauty for sticking around, and yeah, I'm excited to make more of these, and I hope you tune in for the next one. So until then, I will continue to explore the American landscapes out here, and we're off to Canada, back to Canada soon, back to the cold. So yeah, all right, that's it. I'm done rambling now. Anyways, peace out. Catch you in the next one. Much love.